up. They probably waited in my ass. Never even got on the damn plane that morning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. I have a short.
Sorry, guys.
I like sitting in the front of planes now because I can't stand sitting in the back and watching people inefficiently get out in front of me.
Yeah.
It drives me. If you're in the aisle, just fucking go because then you're making room for more people to get their shit out of the top. Optimize.
Yeah. No. But if you're in the, but don't try and go past people.
Well, you
just sit the fuck down.
No, well, sometimes
Yeah,
people.
I have issues.
Well, sometimes people will wait, and there's a person in the window
Yeah, but
who's
the
like,
only reason it's like that is because someone went before they should have.
No. There's clearly a window where, like, if that person is a little bit slow at the window seat and the other two have come out and you're waiting in the aisle already,
No, just wait.
you go.
No,
No,
you're such
you
a
go.
GoDz
You're
stream.
you're
It's like,
part
what's
of
the
problem.
maximum efficiency
You're part of the
place?
problem.
I hate because if I always say window seats, and there's some airlines and like some people who just will not. I can't get out, and I have to get in the aisle before I can get my bags, and no one wants to let me
it's
fucking
reason-
in.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
that's-
so
People are assholes about that.
well, that's
in Australia. Every single plane. Row 1, everyone gets out. Then row 2, then row 3. It's maybe not the most efficient, but it's fucking polite.
Exactly.
We have a man. It's Canada.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you
You know
you
what
just
we're doing.
No, I'm advocating.
I give people the stink eye.
You seize the gap. You don't block people out. If the person in the window is at the aisle and they're ready to get out, you have first priority. But if you're not ready to go and you're in the aisle, you fucking
But
go.
see, I
you know
feel-
what I mean?
People make me feel bad because if I cut in, then I have to stop because I have to then get my bags down
If,
and all
if
that
you're
shit.
ready to go and they don't let you cut in, that person's
Yeah.
a fucking asshole.
Okay.
I don't know what they're
The
doing.
real bad one is if they put their bags behind them and then they make you like they say,
Ooh,
"Oh, I need to
yeah.
go and
God,
get my
that's
bag
the-
from behind." That's the
Yeah.
awful
If your
one.
bag's back there, that's on you, dude. You're
You gotta
waiting.
sit.
You can't
Exactly.
You
jam
gotta
up the
wait.
whole
Yeah.
group.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
man.
where you get someone to help you. You just ask someone back there. to
That's
pass it
actually
down,
true. But Americans don't do that. They're afraid to talk to strangers.
Okay.
Okay, so Dota, what do we got?
Glad we got
Shadow
that out
Titan
of us.
And Night Stalker. Well, yeah, great sesh,
Yep.
guys. That really felt
Now,
good. That was really good.
I feel like I didn't get to finish off on Face Off though.
Oh, yeah.
If you have not seen this movie,
What was it,
do you
98?
realize that all of the Michael Scarn Threat Level Midnight is based on Face Off? There's a bunch of
is it
lines.
really?
Really?
There's a bunch of lines like he goes, "Hey, how's your dead son?" That's in Face Off. Like he goes, "Hey, how's your dead wife?"
So let's everybody do the Skarn and face
That
off.
is not in Face Off. No,
Okay.
not literally the entire thing.
Move to the left. Clap their hands.
Oh,
That's
but
so
it's, a
good.
bunch of the scenes are clearly inspired. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, what do we got here?
well, a
A
little
game.
more of the same, but we get some Elder Titan for our CDEC.
That screen's very far away and small.
Yeah.
Suckers. We got a giant screen over here.
It's a little small, but I'm doing all right. I brought my glasses, so I'm in good
Story
shape.
of your life. Oh no.
But it's a struggle, but I'm scraping by. Yeah. It's,
This is
So-
a liquid opener, right? The Wind Ranger +1.
uh-huh.
Just not a Beastmaster. Although it was available.
So when you see this, you're thinking support Wind Ranger, right? This is the support duo, or is it
I
very
would think
50-50
so.
if that's your three?
I think it's fine either way.
I would assume 3 Night Stalker, 4 Wind Ranger, but
Oh,
definitely
okay.
depends on the team.
I was meaning 2 Wind Ranger is a possibility also.
Oh.
It's
Leaving
always
that open.
feasible.
Yeah.
It is always partly the value of a flex pick early on, but I'd say 75% of the time it is like a 3-4 combo.
And I don't know about Lesh Elder Titan support duo, though. That I'm not convinced on. Like, then I kind of want, like, 3 controlling cores. Like, all 3 of my cores I would want to have some sort of slow or stun. Kind of like this Void idea.
Yeah.
This definitely feels to me like a 2 Leshrac and like a 4 ET.
But
Why
that's
not a
what's so great
2
about
ET?
it.
Hey.
Some
Do it.
Bulba Dotes.
And Sand King. So a very safe opener. Some mixture of your 3, 4, and 5 between these guys.
Yeah, that should likely be them.
But still, I guess, a little open-ended. Probably the 3 Sand King. I guess it could also be the 2 Lesh, though. So
China does sometimes do the ET and the 3. Inflame made that popular for
Yep.
a little while. So they could do it. But again, it doesn't really matter because it's all going to be dual lanes anyways. But I do think that this probably is still going to be the Leshrac in a core role.
Really? I think it'll be a 5 Lesh. I think this is your 3, 4, 5. 3
Okay.
Sand King, 4 ET, 5 Lesh. But perhaps. We'll see. The real question is, are they going to bother banning Brood, or are Young Dumb going to be like, yeah, go ahead? Like, okay.
Maybe CDEC want to ban the hero.
Sure, man.
Stop themselves from playing it.
I guess if you think they're going to play it, you have some opportunities here to pick up a potential Brood counter.
Or just hardcore farmer since they don't pressure.
Is there any
Yep.
hero that Ferrari was particularly well known for?
Invoker for a while. And
I tend to think like
Shadow
TA
Fiends.
kind of
TA,
too.
yeah. The famous
think
TA not Meld, the Cyblades clip of his is probably one of
Okay.
the best moments of like TI2.
Did he play Storm Spirit some?
He did.
I think he played them all, yeah.
He played them all.
He didn't have just one, I think, hero is known for. Or to the extent he did, I'd say is Invoker.
All right, now,
Disruptor and PL.
if there was a carry you could make space for with a Broodmother, PL is something I like better than what they've shown before. I will say that.
This is a
Feel
pretty
better
good,
about that.
like 4+1. You can transfer that farm to a carry that actually puts some pressure on. You've got some high ground siege. I'm with you there.
But I don't think it should be Brood. Brood doesn't sync up well with ET, Lesh, or Sanking, I don't think.
Well, and for Youngdom now, like, what is this then? Is it the 3 or the 4 Wind Ranger? It's just a dual lane, I guess, and Disruptor.
Yeah. I think Nightstalker, Wind Ranger, 3-4 interchangeable. Kind of just maybe depends more on the player preference a bit.
Yeah. Maybe like Nightstalker starts with a little bit more, gets to moving around with like the Urn or something, and Wind Ranger goes back from the Maelstrom, kind of a deal.
Okay.
Still could be the 2. I don't know if I like it as... Actually, it's really good against PL because you can keep your Focus Fire on the main one even through Doppelganger.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
true.
solid against PL. I feel like
That makes it way better as a core.
an Underlord type hero feels pretty good here. Somebody beefy, some AoE.
I like the bands with the Ember and the Queen, just like 2 very good Linken's heroes that you want versus the Sand King. Just kind of like standard mids, aggressive to play with the Nightstalker.
Oh, this is what Gia took before. He really likes this hero, I think.
Spectre.
Not a lot of protection for the hero.
Yeah, almost like exclusively see him paired with Warlock.
They do have a lot of great set for this, like Disruptor to chase and glimpse people back with the Nightstalker Vision as well as the Spectre Haunt. And it guarantees them kills when they go for these rotations and have Haunt.
5 seconds remaining.
Just really lacking on like initial AoE setup, I guess, if you wanted something. You know, in the old days, Puck would fit pretty well here, but I just think that hero does not have enough damage now.
I feel like it's where they may just bust out like a DK or something. DK can scale and match up fine against PL as well.
Maybe you do put the Wind Ranger mid since it looks okay now and it's so much better versus the PL in terms of like having the items, and you just go back for like a Tide Hunter or something to capitalize on the vision from like Haunt. Counter team fight versus ET.
I think they do want somebody kind of beefy. Even though Spectre is a really tanky carry that plays frontline, you want somebody to absorb a lot of that damage. Like a good pipe carrier.
Or you just go Core Nightstalker and as CDEC are predicting, maybe pick something like the Tinker. Just worried about one of those kind of Storm Spirit, I mean, is still in as well, which we know that Youngdom could say, hey man, if we pick Storm, they might just pick Brood again, and we're just going to get this free farming Storm Spirit to go with our free farming Spectres. So
it feels like almost a safe bet at this point.
it's an insult if they don't ban Brood here, honestly. Like, if someone has picked it twice in a row, 10th pick,
That's a really good point.
and it's looked that bad, I would be personally insulted as CDC.
Here's the question. Would you pick it, though? Even if you are insulted.
I think
They banned it.
All right. Yeah. Does that mean they just won the toilet bowl just by having their Brood banned?
Psychological
Yeah.
advantage, yeah. There's a respect ban on them, so.
Storm still seems okay. They have some control, but it's kind of weird catch that Storm can play around to some degree.
I think you'd have 2 pretty weak laners, assuming they would then counterpick the Storm
yeah,
lane.
that's true. It is pretty greedy with the Spectre. If they could get away with it,
I almost feel like
100% secures that late game.
I think that DK DP kind of idea from
that's true.
Parker sounds good.
DP is a little hard to pass up, and it's the
Oh!
Warlock.
I was wondering if they were going to do
Core
this.
Wind
Excellent.
Ranger and Core Nightstalker.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's a Ferrari Wind Ranger.
Yeah, we'll see a Warlock Spectre lane, I imagine, and then the Disruptor probably in the off lane.
Yeah,
Because I was
with the
thinking about,
Nightstalker.
like, they don't have a strong enough lane to do the Disruptor thing, like, with Spectre, I don't think. Like, so they had
It would
to
have to
switch
be
something
Radiant
up.
off lane if they were going to do it, I would think.
Right. So now they can change it up instead and run that really strong lane Nightstalk with the Disruptor.
This actually makes a lot of sense. I think the Spectre would have had a rough game
Yeah.
without something like a Warlock.
So, and it also, solidifies their team fight. So this final pick for CDEC, it's basically, what position is this Lesh playing? They either need a mid or a support here.
They could Lesh Sand King as an off lane to pressure, or like that could be your pressure lane versus the Spectre, because that's still pretty strong. And then you could have the ET just paired with the PL, because they'd still be strong enough. And you just pick some mid hero.
I really don't like the Leshrac as a core anymore.
Like,
at
do they
all.
take DK?
Yeah, yeah, make the SK the core, I think.
I think what would they consider?
Silver Edge Carrier, unless PL's going to take it.
Like Dragon Knight against Wind Ranger, I don't know how that matchup goes.
Dragon Knight does alright. Has lots of armor, so not a problem.
You could Kunkka here.
Kunkka, Death
Interesting
Prophet.
suggestion. I could definitely get behind the Kunkka. Gives them some nice catch.
It does pretty well against Wind Ranger because Windrun doesn't do anything with
Yeah.
Cleave. And then you can kill either her or Spectre pretty easily because they don't want to buy BKBs either.
It's definitely a game where I could see a Kunkka snowballing.
They might Lena. Like with Sand King and ET, it might be enough kind of front line.
It's a lot of skill shot stuns. In the same time, it's so many that Lesh can set himself up with the Lightning. Sand King's got pretty easy setups for Lena and whatnot. You can get Yules. All those feel like okay options.
I think I personally like SF the best, but I don't know what their feelings are on the hero.
They're going to take it down to the wire.
Jesus.
The Brood Band stumped them.
What?
Mid-dazzle, let's go.
We're
Alright,
all
it
over
is
the
the
place.
Nah,
It's the-
mid-lash.
I don't know if I like it. Spectre feels
You
like
had
it
me
might be
really
too
excited
scary.
for a second. I took the bait on that. I really wanted to believe the mid dazzle was happening.
Dude, with the helm, because it resets the shadow poison.
That
the
is
poison,
actually
right?
yes.
Helm of the Dominator.
Helm of the
does.
Dominator.
All right.
So if your creep attacks them, it just
And
keeps the
it's
poison
not just
going.
your creeps; it's all creeps. So like Dazzle Lycan is actually really good because
Wow.
it keeps reapplying the poison.
And then you Shadow Wave bomb
But,
them? Why
yeah.
not?
What's the best creep to get for Dazzle then with the Helm build?
The whip guy.
the Purge-
The Kobold form.
The Purge
'Cause he
creep is
just
I was
really
thinking
good.
like
Up
the
with
Frost Arrow one though. Like you can slow them with the Frost
Yeah.
Arrow, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the Ghost, the Banshee.
Ghost, yeah,
Yeah, that
Banshee.
would
Okay.
be good.
I think that one's not bad. I think the Dark Troll is also quite good.
Yep.
Because you have the ensnare to set things up.
Oh, and the skeletons.
the
That
little
would be-
skeletons
Skellies.
are
Yeah.
so good with the heal bomb, and they also click pretty hard.
All right, we're gonna have to give it to Skelly. I think that sounds like a real winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually don't play that much core Dazzle. It demoralizes the
Oh.
team. You can go mid with Dazzle and actually really fuck on a lot of mids. It's not that
Yeah.
hard. But yeah,
It's one
your
of those
team
you
does
win
not
the
believe.
lane but you lose the game.
Yes.
Things often.
And your team, I've noticed they're more eager to give it to like, oh, you're never going to scale. You're Dazzle mid. I'm just like, well, that's where I want to give it to you, dog, but you don't seem to understand that.
There was the Kingwin that ended up running the Medusa mid, and then they ran Safe Lane Dazzle for a while.
Oh.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yep. Safe lane Dazzle. Sure. It's kind of like position 1 Venge a little bit.
Is it though?
No. But a pinch. A pinch. You get a medallion.
It's
you
got
get
some
a
issues, man.
You can do some big damage.
Agi hero with minus armor that right clicks.
Dude,
and
level 10
scales.
plus 75. You have
Yeah.
a window.
That's kind of cool.
I'm just saying you have a window. It's not as good as Venge, but you have like a
End the game at level 10.
dude, you can if you have a draft that's high ground at 25 minutes,
Ooh.
that Dazzle is clicking hard.
Yeah,
Damn, that word.
Medallion
just got
I'm just having a laugh. I played mid dazzle and lost like
Medallion,
3 games as mid
Hurricane
dazzle.
Pike,
I
phase
like it, though.
boots, dude.
Yeah.
Trust me, you're killing shit.
It's fun to play
You're
mid.
killing shit.
It's not fun to play after the 15 minutes when you have all these items and you still feel like you just get
Yeah.
chain stunned and die.
So the key is you have to transition into a support in the mid game, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it a bit
Which is
shit.
why your team is flaming you because you went mid and then you become a support.
Poison
Well,
touch.
that's where the push high ground at 25 minutes comes in,
Yeah.
Parker. You're all. That's what I'm saying. It's like a shitty Venge. You're on this crazy timer to end the game, but you have a window. You feed the Dazzle both tomes, so 20 minutes. You're close to the HP.
Oh, jeez.
You're out of control.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
great.
Dazzle really is my spirit animal.
He looks like a cat.
Hey, whoa,
What,
whoa.
Dazzle?
Yeah.
So I will say, so they messed it up. His base model used to have a mohawk, and now they changed him where the mohawk is just his base cosmetic, but you can see he has the little whippy set, but he looks bald at the top. It's because he used to have a mohawk. So this set used to be really badass. Now it looks really dumb. So
Man, you know everything about Dazzle.
it's, oh, dude. Please. There's one thing I can say that I'm an expert on in Dota, and it is Dazzle. That's my one claim to fame.
What's his real name?
I have no idea. Something the Shadow
I
Priest.
thought you knew. I could have swore you just told me that the other day.
Wasn't he Dazzle the Shadow Priest in
Oh
Dota?
yeah,
Wasn't
I think
Dazzle
it's
his
just
name?
Dazzle the Shadow Priest. Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
all right.
It's a
Well,
true
there
West
you go.
Shadow Priest. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I got
people
got.
used to call him SP in Dota 1.
Yeah. So yeah,
It was
and
a trick question.
and it's confusing because there's Shadow Demon, Shadow Fiend, and he was the Shadow Priest. So making him Dazzle is actually quite good.
I thought he was gonna have one of those cool demon names.
Anuxi did make one of the best Dazzle sets, the Dazzleator. But now they have the Dark Star. That one is that's the band score set.
Oh, with all like the red and everything.
You know, it's really sick. That's a player set, and it's an ultra rare, so it's worth like $300. That's the one with the crazy staff and the really dark helmet.
Was it? Oh, it was in one of the chests or something.
Yeah, yeah. It changes the animation for poison touch too.
Ah.
Nice.
But yeah, the chest is super expensive.
Is that your next big splurge? You gonna write that off on Moonduck?
No. So, dude, the Pipe of Dezen, that's one of
Promotional material.
the Pipe of Dezen is the one from KDL. It was a Nexon chest, so it doesn't exist anymore because Nexon doesn't have Dota. So that one, yeah, it was gifted to me by somebody. It's the only item I've ever begged for on Twitter, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say it. It was worth it.
Congratulations.
So, how are we doing in this game, boys?
Pretty standard laning phase, nothing crazy.
No first bloods again for
Yep.
6 minutes, I'm sure.
Until
All
we
right,
start talking about Dota, that doesn't happen.
let's
that's true.
let's take a pool here. You guys want to pick a time? Everyone think of a time for first blood,
Ooh, the over.
and then when you're ready, we'll just go for it. Better hurry.
2.5 minutes.
All right, I'm ready.
I lost.
Nope, Spectre Warlock was not the bet there.
Yeah.
Who's going to TP to a lane first?
Could be Night Stalker at first night.
God,
Disruptor
I
might
might be
lead.
late.
I'm going
bot.
deep, boys.
Yeah, I might be late.
I'm going with 7 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm going with 5 more minutes of total boredom. That would be a true feat if we could accomplish that.
I think we'll see one at 5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes.
Bounty
5 minutes.
Oh,
true,
good
true.
call.
I'm going to go 4:30. I think it's going to come before Bounty Runes as people get in position.
I'll go 6 minutes.
Okay, Mr. 230.
Hey.
Think you just get back in on this?
Oh, man, you know.
On these GG
This is-
bet
this
odds,
is an
am I
accepting
right?
house, okay?
Every time you get past your time, you get to choose a new one.
I like that idea.
That sounds totally fair. 328.
Cannot be within 30 seconds of someone else.
329.
Ooh, a stomp on 2.
Oh, Disruptor, no!
That's first blood.
338. I think
That
that's
was-
Andrew.
Yeah.
I said
4:30.
4:30, yeah.
He's the closest, though.
He's at
Congratulations.
2:30. You're a 2:30 Gabe. You should have stuck with it.
I know, damn it. It's the problem.
All right, one of
Although
our
wouldn't it still have gone
fastest first
to
bloods.
4:30? It was just closer.
It's the price to right rule?
That's true.
Can't go over.
Yeah.
So I would win.
No, it's the opposite. If you go over, you lose.
Oh,
in that
it's the
thing.
over.
Yeah, you
Oh.
lose.
Fuck.
I would have gone over on 230.
Oh, that heal bomb bottom.
Uh-oh.
Spectre just lost like 60% of her HP.
Yep,
Ooh,
Dazzle
not gonna
does
go.
play to win. So what build did he go? Oh, 2 points in heal. Okay, well, it's a good build. Standard build.
Definitely the optimal build.
You know, there is value with the second point in it, though.
the
Just
poison touch?
saying. Yeah, it goes from 10 to 24.
Okay.
Ferrari just solo killed him. with
Mathematically.
DD. Oh my god, this is going to be a ton of damage.
Double damage on wind range.
And meanwhile, Sand King.
Going to be dead, Zo. Looks
Think
like.
so, Dagger? I don't know. I mean, I understand, like, you pick Dazzle kind of in the similar role with the Warlock, right? You want to be kind of defensive. Sure, the slow helps set things up, but you're there to keep your carry alive. Up top, we're going to see more damage come. Stop, a little too slow.
Well, the thing with the heal is also it's also a nuke though. Like
Yes.
so
that's
you
true.
know that, but I'm just saying I think
Yeah.
it's that nice balance of offense and defense.
He is the expert.
You have read the spell, so.
Yes. You have cast Shadow Wave before, right?
That is true, though. And it scales really well. It's just cooldown damage. It's
I think it's nice because anytime Spectre comes in for last hits, Sand King can stun, and then you get like a 3-4 hero heal bomb.
yeah.
And it's overall just going to give you more reliable damage output than the Poison Touch.
Especially against the Warlock. I think by nature that really kind of counteracts it. Sometimes with Dazzle in the safe lane, it feels like that second point in Poison can be value against like a Bristleback or an Axe because it cuts right through him. You know, like Bristle can't turn his back to it and whatnot.
This is just the thing, though. Like, even when they get these heal bombs off, Warlock, Spectre, you just, Clarities, keeps casting his heal,
Ironclad,
doesn't stop.
very exciting meta picks.
Spectre's mangoing, or who's mangoing who here?
I think they were just feeding each other mangoes. That was pretty adorable.
Passing back and forth here.
This is a team that's playing for funsies. They're having a good time, and I think that they are playing for real too. But
only feed you if you feed me back.
they're friends.
I will say this Warlock knows how to play this lane.
It's a delicious
You know,
mango.
some teams have been copying this whole Warlock Spectre thing. They don't know how to play Warlock Spectre. All you have to do is Warlock.
the
Stay
box,
in the
dude.
box, dude. Like, this is, you know, your little box around the tower. Just never leave the tower. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, you venture outside the tower and die. You're not playing it right. So many teams, these Warlocks just feeding crazy.
Yeah, so many of these 5 positions, like, oh, 5 minutes, I'm going to go Bounty Rune. Oh, I just died to 2 heroes.
Yeah. This guy's just like, yeah,
Yeah. It's all about
living in the
defense.
box.
You're playing D. You're getting that Spectre as farm. He's got the Soul Diffuser.
Soul Diffuser?
Isn't that the name of the weapon?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. But that was some,
Fancy
like,
one.
spell I hadn't heard of.
It is
Like
the
inhibit or
autographed
something.
Soul Diffuser. In
Oh,
fact, autographed
wow.
by Hal.
Wow. So this Dazzle doesn't have it, but there's an urn. Uh-oh.
He left. He
bomb?
left a pole. Warlock. Gotta be
Nice.
careful.
Back to the box, slave.
But there's like an urn cosmetic, and I have one signed by PGG. That's
Wow.
got to be a value signature.
Yeah.
That's a vintage.
Definitely.
It's not golden, though. Elder Titan picked off.
I believe Wind Ranger has made a rotation.
Gonna be able to find one, and probably a power shot here for a second.
Heal.
Oh. Well, it works.
Still find this. There you go.
This isn't TI2 Ferrari.
Dire's bottom tower
Pretty tough.
Oh, Ferrari gave him the salve. Been passing around a lot of items for each other. 6 and 1 so far.
Oh,
They're doing it.
CDEC. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Poor boys.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They're just falling apart.
And this is the exact same hero we saw me and Gabe when we're casting them in Opens, Young Dumb. They were putting, you know, their newbie boss on the Warlock. He's the heal bot, and he's just going to keep their carry alive.
Even maxing out heal, too, and as opposed to Fatal Bonds.
Oh, Lord.
Another one down there.
Oh, Leshrac gets a little rotation in and keeps on going. All right.
Dude, back up top. Lesh is going hard.
Is he really? Oh,
It forced out the nighttime.
I thought it was the illusions. My bad.
You really like watching this Spectre Warlock. Like, literally the most
I love
boring.
this. It's amazing.
Oh, he's going to get hit by Caustic Finale. Okay,
Yeah.
looks like he's eating another tango. Oh, there's a heal from the Dazzle. And oh, we've got a counter heal from the Warlock.
Spectre's dropping below 90% HP. Warlock immediately runs over. I'm coming.
Hey, man. You gotta. I enjoy what I enjoy, all right? To see a Spectre free farm.
You know, I shout out to the best Korea. Which one is Cat Feces?
He's the 4 position. He's the, I think the Disruptor.
This game.
Dire's top
What's his
tower
name there? Is that it?
Kafaluko? That sounds like cat feces.
It sounds like Lake Coffee or something.
Surely.
I could be wrong about that. We'll have to double check.
Oh, we'll just say it's cat feces. We'll just go with it.
Okay.
Maybe he had to do an official name change because it was offensive. Uh-oh, big setup here. Flash connects on one. They get the kill on Warlock.
Oh my god, they're taking them all down.
So
it's
one.
cleanup time,
Or
though.
2 for 2 now.
All right, here comes the power shot. Oh, no.
Oh,
that-
almost got him.
Nice.
Shackled to interrupt. All right, pretty decent for Young Dumb. They do lose both their supports.
That's fine though. This is the hero that's gonna win it. I'll try and stay away from that lane again. Sorry, I can't stay away from Warlock though. Always back.
Ferrari's having a very nice start, though.
Yeah.
Wind Ranger needs so many items, and he's going to have his Maelstrom very soon.
10-minute mark as well. Pick up some bounty runes here. Perfectly happy with that. While Ego will take a couple of his own. Been kind of a tough time so far for Mr. PL in a lot of ways.
Oh, it's
the
not
Night
great.
Stalker.
Look at that net worth breakdown. He's struggling.
I feel like there's been nothing crazy up top either.
Yeah.
What's his deal?
Disruptor Night Stalker is like not an easy lane, but it definitely shouldn't be this hard.
I think the ET died twice up there, so he was getting
okay.
bullied.
He didn't have vision there. He just knew that it was coming. Ferrari on top of it.
Game sense.
Immediate static storm. Ferrari will finish this one off.
I feel like that's worth these early static storms. It's actually not that long of a cooldown. You're not really at that point in the game where you're investing a lot in these big team fights. So
Yeah. You're not hitting a 2-man static storm.
no.
It's not really that big of a lead for the Radiant, but
It's a Spectre game.
I
though.
like their
Yeah.
late game a lot better.
Yeah, it's about to be nighttime as well in 1 minute, and that's when this Night Stalker is going to be.
It's right now.
And they've
Yeah.
got great mid-game team fight. Just the Warlock and Disruptor alone open up so much to just take fights with Haunt.
Oh, look at that Warlock ward too. Actually gets all the way in there.
Nice.
They're about to
Undetected.
take this tower and more.
What's the item build on Spectre?
Treads. Can't click on it. And
All
Aquila.
right, so just straight into Radiance.
This is the build become most popular when you can actually get the Radiance. People
Yeah.
seem to be going away from the Blade Mail now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like something you ever necessarily want. It's more like you kind of need it. Stay in the game a little bit.
The Aquila seems sufficient in most games. Whoops. But I remember like the Earn days. That was kind of interesting.
That was
on
a fun
Spectre.
one.
Yeah.
That was a really nice one. Mask of Madness Urn. Those were fun days.
And it seems like
Oh, Spectre. Wrong button.
there was definitely a time when like
TP to the
Vanguard
shrine from there.
Diffusal felt okay in certain games, but now it just has such an opportunity cost. Like it makes you have to fight. And when people see you're going for that build, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to build a Radiance now on PL, and then you just outscale him.
Ego needs to be careful here a little bit. If he comes too far forward, they have Static Storm available, and Ferrari can just kill him.
But the grave.
Dazzle's there.
That's true.
But yeah, he might still just die.
Oh, no latch on the shackle.
Shout out to that guy who made the little suggestion thread about the shackle animation. I remember that was talked about for like the past 2 years. People showing that like little area where it should show where it would hit. Ego just barely lives. Oh shit, the vision.
Shout out to the Glimpse because PL's back in the danger zone. They've already killed the Dazzle,
Oh.
no grave, and it's a double for 430. The Young Dumbs coming in big.
Runs right over to Wind Ranger for the easy kill.
Man, MVP so far has been Cat Feces. That is for
What?
sure.
How
would
was it
feel
not
that.
Ferrari?
All right, I
How's
just
it
wanted
not
to,
the Warlock
I
guy?
literally just wanted to say that.
I'm
That's
giving
it.
it to the Warlock.
That's all I
What are
wanted
you
to
talking
say.
about?
Dude, the Warlock didn't even have to ult there, all right?
That's how good
easy
he
that
is.
was.
Yeah, he's been keeping the Spectre alive. You know, he's doing a good job.
It's like, guys, I'm not going to get aggressive here.
I'm also looking for some compendium levels.
Hey, you know.
Yeah, who's got the most tips here? That's a real question. Oh yeah, that's true. Damn, I forgot about that.
He's tipping for like 500. Oh, Shackle comes out, and that should be a dead Lesh.
It's a great use of the Golem. Sets up a kill on the Lesh, and now you can use it to farm.
It's a farming ults. Feels good. Don't push a lane with it. Straight to the jungle.
Hey, it says he lives in Alberta, Canada, according to the profile of that guy.
Who?
Maybe he can hook me up. The newbie boss.
Whoa.
Is he really?
I don't know. That's just what his Steam profile says.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed in the lobbies anymore.
Oh, no.
That's true.
You cannot talk to him.
Bummer.
This is really the real reason why you're not allowed in the lobbies.
Better hope he makes the playoffs, Trent.
You know, there was a point last year where every time we were in a lobby for like these Chinese games and some of the NA players were in, they all started begging for the bugged cosmetics. Were you guys there?
no.
I saw Artesian and Zai were like, yo, can any of you guys hook me up with some of these cosmetics? Like every single lobby, it's like, I want some of these.
Those things sell for a lot.
Yeah, China's got them good, man.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah, it makes me wish that I had been more diligent about collecting Dota cosmetics.
I like
way
the
back
bugged
when.
wards with like the effects. Those ones look so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
Dire's top tower.
Some of them have like little orbits.
This looks like a dead Ferrari.
It's a big kill.
So wicked sick.
700
Wow.
gold.
To the Leshrac.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty important hero.
And also 300 gold over there. They find a second. Taken down that Disruptor.
Is under attack.
Nicely done.
And suddenly it's down to a 2K lead.
Still a big Spectre problem. And anytime you're not ahead against a Spectre during the first 15 minutes is always going to be concerning.
True.
And I don't know, not sold on PL's ability to turn a game around.
This is also the stage of the game where you feel like Spectre is at her weakest.
Yep.
You know, she's pulling all this gold, still doesn't even have the relic, and that really scary window is now closing. And she's got like, what, 3,500 gold?
She's quite strong at like minute 7, 8 because that's when you just finish. Like you have these items at minute 7, 8, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty scary. I got level 8.
Yeah.
I have max dagger. I actually have kill potential with ult.
Yeah.
Now 10 minutes go by, you have
Oh.
the exact same items.
They
Yep.
glyph this. This is the relic right here. And good decision by Gia to back out, although if she shows again,
Dun 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 dun.
yeah, just play it safe. Good call.
Oh, they catch the Night Stalker.
Reveal
though.
his suspicions that they were indeed ganking him.
They're going to try and smoke wrap, it looks like, maybe.
We've seen a lot of those plays where it'll be like glyphing one last creep that's left over, and then like somebody sometimes goes for it, and then they just end up dying.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice. Leshrac is up here. Oh, they'll spot the Sand King with that ward, I believe. But they will leave him be.
Got a Yules, but no TP, and yep, Haunt right in.
It's a Relic, 16 minutes, chasing for more here as well. He turned back around onto the ET. He's in trouble. Grave is there. But they do have Glimpse available for the Dazzle afterwards. They can get within range with Vision. They catch him, pull him back in, Marlin.
Wow. Ends up being a 3-0. Big momentum now for Young Dumb, and that's just about a Radiance for the Spectre. Has the Relic in tow. Lesh still farming pretty good, but man, that hurts.
Yeah, some nice vision abuse there.
2,300 damage before Radiance in that fight.
It's just really hard. Anytime a fight is going wrong at all, you've just completely screwed because they're always going to chase you down with Glimpse. So I think for CDC, they always need to make sure if they're taking a fight, they can hold their ground and just carry through with it. They can't like second guess themselves.
Almost Sand King Blink Dagger.
Yep, that'll be big. Vanguard after that. I like that Sand Kings are building tankier now. Like you're seeing that Crimson build a lot more regularly. Felt like after Crimson Guard was introduced to the game, there's a pretty long window where it was just ignored.
Yeah, definitely.
Feels like it's finally in a pretty good place where you're never upset when your teammate gets it. It's like, oh, you got a Crimson. Sweet.
It was only pick versus Drow draft.
Let's
and that
fight.
was like it.
Yeah, like Visage, a couple of niche,
Yeah.
like zoo-type strats it was good against, I suppose.
I think it also used to be Sank and be like, I'm just going to get all these 4-stuff, Yule Scepters, flashy items. But
That's
Yeah.
that smoke was under the ward up there on that high ground.
Ooh.
And it was just like barely outside the sentry range, you can see.
Warlock
Alright, they
Ultimate at the
have,
ready.
Disruptor ulti too. They're going to jump forward. They might think about turning this here. Oh, but the Stomp, that catches the 2 team fighters.
It's a great weave on
They're
2.
trying to drag them in here, but Ferrari's still not close enough.
Oh, Static Storm down, the lift up there with the Yules, the Epicenter, it's not really on target. They're going to be able to find the kill in the walk before the ulti comes out. No buyback.
It's still just a Warlock, though. Like, it does stop Radiant team from taking this team fight, but you need to get more to make this worthwhile.
Kind of a stomp.
Oh, nice
neck.
stalker.
Easy
Okay.
split earth though, and that'll make it 2. Maybe a tower to
2
boot.
plus a tower is decent.
I do kind of want, I guess they didn't have Haunt. I was wondering if like,
Yeah.
if they had Haunt, you could like buy back the Warlock and try and take that fight, but
I
doesn't
think
have
Spectre's
buyback.
just saying, like, don't fight. I almost have Radiance, no Haunt. Like, what's the point of taking that fight there? Even losing 2 supports, it's actually still just fine for Young Dumb. They're meant to be losing fights. They haven't been, just through sheer outplay, but the fact they're at this place right now,
Yeah.
with a Radiance, they're going to be way stronger.
I think it's actually kind of good the Warlock didn't use his ultimate there, because now they can use it
Yeah.
right as Haunt is coming up and as the Radiance gets delivered. I think it's actually coming on the Courier right now.
They are missing out on, like, no one else could push out the wave, though, because, like, they saw that smoke. They knew they were coming bottom, but only Wind Ranger can, like, hit the creeps really and back away. They have no one else to do it. I mean, Disruptor's gone for the Thunderstrike damage, which kind of helps, but...
oh man, this is feeling like it might be a Bloodstone into immediately lose charges type of game.
What's the other talent?
200 health. It's pretty valuable.
Is the Thunderstrike really worth it?
pretty good.
I mean, plus 40, it
have
ticks
that.
like 6 times, so it's actually plus a lot of damage,
4
right?
times.
Or 4 times, I'm sorry. Still,
You
it's
get
a
the plus 3 ticks later on as a talent, though? if you
Somewhat
want.
plus 4
Plus
later.
4 ticks?
Yeah.
I don't think you actually get that talent, though. It's that or...
No, it's 180 GPM.
Okay.
So-
180?
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
level 20. That's why it's 180.
Still, that's like,
Often you see like 150
yeah,
GPM
180 is
talents there.
pretty good.
Haunt coming out now with the Radiance. They're chasing immediately onto this PL, and he is going to most likely die, and maybe
in
lose
trouble.
more here as well.
Radiance will just finish him off, and maybe they snag somebody else. It's a pretty good split on the way. Elder Titan, he's speedy, but it's great silence, good follow-up, and they will find the kill there. Dazzle also got chased down by the Night Stalker, so they get 3.
Yeah. They have decent team fight in terms of like the golem and everything, but the way that these haunts are just allowing them to skirmish and go for these pick-off plays is just so much better. Like, The Dire team relies on team fight. They need a big sleep into Burrow Strike, into Leshrac stun, and like blow people up with chain stuns and everything, and they just don't have that because of the way that Young Dumb are just picking them apart.
Can we look at the Spectre talents real quick?
Yeah.
AK the best talents in the game.
I really like him a lot.
Do you ever get the 10-second cooldown and then the 20% Spectre slow bonus?
I've seen the 10-second cooldown. Just yesterday we saw it. This guy here got it in a game. But he did not get the... He still got the plus 500
health is
always get
so
500
good.
health. I don't think there's a single scenario where you don't get 500 health.
He did have a really cool build, though, where he went the plus 40 Haunt illusion damage, and it ended up... It's 100% damage then on your illusions when you end up getting the talent. And it's actually kind of insane how much damage he was doing in the fights. He ended up getting a refresher as like his 4th item or something.
That,
5th item?
I could see that being situationally good. Yeah, so what does that make the cooldown on the dagger with -10? Was it normally?
It's 6 seconds.
6 seconds, 7 second
with
uptime.
8-second or 7-second duration.
You have a lot of mana problems with it. It's the main thing.
Yeah.
You can't be, like, you want to use dagger often to farm and go from camp to camp a bit, but you can't actively spam it off cooldown.
But that's why he took the refresher too. He bought a refresher, which is the highest mana regen item outside of Bloodstone. Uh-oh. Rock on to 3.
Nice.
He's got the Fatal Bonds telling too. Gonna start falling quickly. Need to get out of here.
Though.
Defensive weave, split, ends up getting dodged. Dazzle gets interrupted. No TP to safety.
They know he's here. Oh
Maybe
no.
they'll think I was TPing.
Oh no.
He needs to do something.
You're just
like,
dead if
don't
you sit
just
there.
die. Okay.
That-
I don't think you stun
Technically,
the
that
hero
is
with dispersion.
something.
Yeah, you at least do some damage before you die. Why
Space
not?
created.
Set up now into the disruptor, but Lesh gonna take a lot of hurt. There's the haunt.
It's the Bloodstone death.
That is the worst time to
Oh,
die.
they're gonna
Does
get
at least
PL2.
get off the deny.
Chasing the wrong one. Spectre knows which one's real though.
Brutal. This Spectre has been a problem and is now officially out of control. Shackle into power shot. Elder Titan will get graved by the Dazzle. That's a nice little
Damage
play.
over time. Gets
Gonna
out.
be close. He'll live. Oof. Now the defusal up on Spectre. This is a
Okay.
defusal I can get behind.
Yeah.
Dire's middle
Before the Manta.
Yeah, it's surprising considering you have Radiance and everything. Those Manta illusions with Radiance always.
Ferrari? The mana burn on the illusions is also pretty nice, though.
Yep.
So I feel like this is the point too now where it doesn't really matter if Ferrari dies that much because Spectre is the real problem. 10-0-9 on this guy and just completely out of control at this stage.
True, but if they kill Ferrari once again, and then if they manage to bring out the Spectre, it is only like a 4K lead right now. If they could transition that some of that like onto the PL or something.
Dire are
Yeah, he's hurting.
But
he needs it.
overall, yeah, it looks pretty good for the Radiant side, no doubt.
Oh, mid.
PL's farm is still very underwhelming. I guess that'll help. Ends up getting the last hit onto the Night Stalker there.
Yeah. Finding some fights here.
He's
Trying to
died
pick apart the Warlock.
twice now, like just in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Last two haunts, both times Spills died, which is
Yeah.
a very bad sign.
And he's going to go for the Yasha next after that refusal. But
Yeah, if he farmed quickly this game, a Diffusal Manta into like Silver Edge could have perhaps allowed him to match up against Spectre, but not
that-
to be.
How strong do you guys think this Warlock Spectre is?
like just as a general
Yeah.
duo in lane.
Obviously, it looks really, really good this game, but I'm wondering, like, how early can you take this in a draft?
I'd say it's pretty top tier. I don't think you first two ever. You can first to a Warlock bed. You don't want Spectre until 3rd or 4th pick.
Yeah.
But
It has issues, like Warlock is naturally a very long cooldown hero, so you want someone who can be a little bit more active as your other support. I think Disruptor fits that bill, but like in this draft, because of the way that the Warlock had to be 5th pick to make the Spectre work, they don't have that like brawling position 4 really, so that's substituted by the Night Stalker.
oh, what a shackle!
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was nice.
And this was time.
Sets up
Oh,
the
the Centaur!
DT. They kill the Sand King, bring down the PL, and it is just a slaughter. Dazzle with the Grave TP, not gonna work. There's a Wind Ranger.
Dang.
She's got the shackle.
That was-
Marling gets put down.
Kind of just GG. It feels like.
Yeah.
That was timed so well. Like, literally, the Haunt came off cooldown right as the Warlock stun was ending.
Could you click on the Lesh rack for me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, he's back up to 12 charges, but just feels like such a bummer. His farm is so good. He's trying to accelerate, but it's just not enough.
Or Leshrac.
This is the version of the Outsiders where Pony Boy's not a hero.
Classic.
Classic. The greasers and the socias.
It's a real junior high book right there.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You didn't read that book?
Pony
in
Boy?
school? It's a great
Pony Boy,
literary
no.
reference.
Uh-uh.
Johnny, he gets trapped in the fire, and then he dies, and Pony Boy gets all upset, and it ends.
Is Pony Boy a person or
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
character.
animal?
You don't know this book,
No.
the Outsiders?
The only Johnny Boy I know is from Chrono Trigger. The
Po
one that you
Pony
race.
Boy, not Johnny
It's-
Boy.
Yeah.
Johnny Boy?
Johnny is Pony Boy's friend. Pony Boy's the main
Oh.
character. He's like the innocent one. It's like a 50s, or it's take on the
Yeah,
50s.
Greasers.
Greasers, yeah.
Pony Boy.
Wow.
What are your classic schoolroom books?
Well, I know GoDz reads a lot. I'm surprised that the Outsiders has never crossed your path.
What was the one with the guy living in the tree in the woods? Did you guys have to read that one?
Is
that-
yeah.
Oh, Hatchet.
no,
No, that's when you get stranded on an island.
That's a
it's,
different one.
Thoreau.
I
Thoreau.
still read that.
Is that what it is?
It's Thoreau. What's the book
Are
that
you sure
Thoreau
it's not
wrote?
the In the Wild or whatever?
It might be that.
That's
I
when
don't
they made a movie out of it in Alaska?
I don't remember.
Into
I
the
just
Wild?
remember he's
Oh,
in a
the
book.
so.
He's like he lives in a tree. He like carves it out.
Maybe it's a different one.
It's
Actually.
like a
Into the
children's.
Wild, he dies
It's
in
a
a
young
bus.
adult
Yeah.
book, I think.
The big popular ones for me, at least, were To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
Right.
Classic.
And,
We did that one.
That's so
Chris Fish,
American.
right?
Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very American too. We didn't do
Um,
either of those.
What's the other one?
I don't remember
Huckleberry Finn.
Catcher in the Rye.
That's more. I
Yeah.
did middle school in America, so I did all the American ones.
Makes sense.
I went to like a prep school, so we did like a ton of different like weird
So
ones. We did like
we skipped the
Siddhartha.
Outsiders.
Yeah, I did
We-
Siddhartha.
Siddhartha-
Oh, did you do IB shit? Is that why?
A little
I did
bit.
IB
yeah.
shit. IB
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Did
What
IB?
up? I
Yeah.
did up until grade 11, and then
So
it
you
didn't
didn't
make sense
really
for me
do
to do
IB.
it. I did 2 IB courses.
Okay.
But I did not finish.
Did
the
you have to
international
write?
baccalaureate.
Did you have to write an
Yeah.
extended essay? Did you do the
I
extended
had to do
essay
the exams
Oh yeah.
or whatever.
for IB?
Yeah,
Okay.
Doesn't
for
sound-
French and I forget what the
Gotcha.
other one was.
So
Oh.
it's like the IB. So to do the full diploma, you have to do like a 4,000 word essay. It's like the only
Oh,
high
yeah,
school
yeah.
curriculum where you're writing
Yeah.
like a college level essay.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we did those. Good times.
Good times. What was the main character of Catcher in the Rye? He has a weird name.
Oh God, why can't I remember?
Because we're old and it's a stupid book.
I've read that book like 5 times. That's a great book, man.
I actually I don't
Um,
remember the plot at all.
Holden
Holden
Caulfield, right?
Caulfield.
Yeah.
Caulfield.
Oh,
yeah.
Holden Caulfield.
Yeah.
Holden McNeil's a Kevin Smith character.
Did you guys have to do like the Shakespeare plays and everyone have to like
Oh,
read
yeah.
their parts and
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, Macbeth was
Classic.
the first one I had to do.
Those were great. Caesar was a good
Macbeth
one.
was
Never did
Macbeth
Caesar.
was fun though. I like
Macbeth
Macbeth.
is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We did a Romeo and Juliet once, the old classic.
Yeah, I never did Romeo and Juliet. That was the one I never did in school.
Neither did I.
The classic.
I didn't come to appreciate
that one.
Shakespeare until undergrad.
We had
I
like
had a course on it.
a hip guy that came into our school and was like, "See, this is what's going on right now. Let me tell you about Romeo and Juliet." And he was like trying to break it down for us. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like
Is that
he
when
was-
you became the lyrical
No,
gangster?
it was not. It was
Oh,
not.
okay, sorry.
But that
Eventually
was.
we'll find out.
It was like trying to bring, poetry and literature to the hood or something. It was crazy. It was
Your
like.
hood prep school.
Well, no, this was middle school. This was middle school.
Sorry. I thought we were at boarding school.
No,
SPL
boarding
is
school.
in
Oh,
big
God.
trouble, guys.
Jeez.
Well, just like the end of Catcher in the Rye,
But
Bill's gonna die.
Is that when they shoot the dog?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
yeah, no.
Lenny.
No.
That's a different one, isn't it?
I have no
No,
idea.
They shoot the dog in the
I
of
know
Mice and
nothing
Men.
about
That's
Captain
another
Hook.
good one.
That's yeah.
What's the really sad kids book?
Old
Where
Yeller?
the
Yeller?
Where the Red Fern Grows. Have you done that one?
Oh,
No.
we did, but
He has the 2 little hunter dogs, and
Oh yeah.
it's devastating.
It's
You will cry.
devastating.
I do not know someone who's read that book and not cried.
Yeah. The other classic. What was the one? The shitty movie with Jonas.
Jonah and the Whale?
Oh, the
No.
one we saw the movie,
Yeah,
right?
Parker and I saw it. The one with Jeff
Taylor
Bridges.
Swift makes a cameo. The Giver.
What? The Giver.
The
That's it.
Giver.
She makes a cameo in this movie. Like
Why?
The book is legit. The movie was the new. It's atrocious.
Wow, guys, they won.
Hey, look! I found this sled in the woods. Oh, cool.
They create such a cool world in the book, and then the movie just does a terrible job.
It just doesn't
Bringing it to
translate.
life.
The way
Yeah.
the first time you read that book and it just you realize they're talking about color. It's just nothing replaces the medium with that. It's such a perfect use of that.
Yeah, because you don't have that like surprise factor when it's a movie.
Yeah. I guess that's part of it. Also, just the acting sucks.
Acting with Trojans.
Are they gonna kill her? Spectre? She's dead.
Yep, no haunt either, so can't buy back to end it. They're gonna hold on here.
She's got it in 15.
Okay. I don't know if they go back in though.
No,
This
it's
is
not worth.
the alternate ending to Moby Dick where the whale wins.
So Will die in that?
I don't know. I never finished it.
I did not read that
Doesn't
book.
he
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I read Black Beauty. That was because I was a young equestrian. I don't know
That's
if I ever,
right.
Did I ever tell you that, Parker? I used to ride horses.
No, I.
Oh,
how did I not know this?
I don't know. I rode horses for a lot of years. We lived on a farm and
It's
stuff.
like the least shocking
Wow.
thing.
I was an
anyone's
English
ever
rider.
revealed.
Well,
One of your
definitely
parents is
true.
like a vet, right?
Both of them are
Both are
vets.
vets. Okay, yeah.
My dad worked on horses for a
Don't
while.
they know how stupid expensive a horse is? Isn't
Oh.
a vet the last person
So,
that should
but-
buy a horse?
No, but that's what we did. We flipped them, you see. You buy a horse young.
You flipped the horse.
Dude, you buy them young,
Yeah.
you train them, and then after like 5 years, after you win some
that's-
championships, you go, hey, look, this is a championship-winning horse. And, my kid was good enough to do it, so this clearly you should spend 10 grand on this horse, and then your kid could be a
All
champion.
right, see now what I thought you meant was that you went to the horse track, saw some horse with a bump knee, and were like, "No, he can't race anymore. I'll take him off your hands."
He's got some
And
fire
And
in
then you
his
fixed
eyes.
his knee and sold
Dude,
him.
we
Yeah.
trained hunters. It was awesome. I bought we got a quarter horse. I think the real shame though.
A
is I-
quarter horse?
Yeah.
So did you sell them as studs? Is that what I'm
No,
hearing here?
no, they were all gildings. But the problem was, so I was probably going to quit. I was getting really into soccer as I was getting into middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had a horse that died of botulism. I had an Arabian, this
Oh,
awesome
no.
horse named BB, and then, it died of botulism in our backyard. So
What'd
my parents
you do? You didn't can it, right?
Well, we drove it to the vet and stuff, but it was all paralyzed and shit, and they put it to sleep.
How does a
So,
horse get botulism?
I probably
God.
drinking contaminated water in the backyard,
So
drinking
you
out of
killed
puddles.
the horse, is what you're saying.
Oh, we put that thing down.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no.
So, I probably would have quit if that didn't happen, but then my parents felt bad, so I got the quarter horse, and then we sold it, and that was, we bought it and flipped it, and then I became a soccer player, and then I discovered video games and stopped going outside.
Here we are.
That sounds very similar to my story.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, you were a tennis player, though, right?
Yeah, tennis. I played a lot of sports, basketball, soccer, but tennis seriously.
Wow.
Then you get lazy, you play 20 video games. I tell my coach, I'll just play doubles. And doubles is where, you go to just
I'll just play
fun.
doubles.
I spent my last 2 years of high school on the tennis team playing doubles. It was
Yeah.
great.
The cardio goes away so fast. Guys, this fight's actually kind of tense. However, the
No,
Dire don't
it's
have
not.
buybacks.
Look at
and
those HP bars up top, dude.
Spectre,
Spectre is full HP,
out of
okay.
control. And PL is 2 underfarmed.
Okay, well.
But
Game
Lesh
was good.
somehow hit 25.
This Lesh is keeping them in the game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
he's
say.
actually playing out of control.
It is crazy how fast this hero can push. Like, once you have the Bloodstone and the bots, you annihilate waves.
In some ways, it just feels like the Radiant are toying with their food before they eat it. Like, if they really clump up and just finish this thing with all their ults.
I think that they've been getting a little bit too greedy to try and go for the next round, maybe.
Yeah.
And I also think that, like, I don't know, it feels that they were waiting for Haunt that one time, and then they were waiting for this other thing. A pickoff happened, like, get all the lanes pushed out. And now they might just wait for Roche, which I guess is going to be back up in a second, so it's not that big of a deal.
Guys, the other great thing about being an equestrian
Yeah.
was that the opposite demographic of esports. I was the only guy. It's all girls.
Oh.
So how about that for a change? I had a taste of the sweet life.
Oh, yeah. How'd that work out for
Well,
you?
the problem is that they're all spoiled, lonely girls. They're all like.
And you weren't spoiled with your horse.
I bought them a pony. Hey, I was a talented equestrian. Some of them were not so talented.
So like 3 years ago when I was more single and on Tinder,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
first biggest sign I will never swipe right, horse person. If there is a horse in any of your pictures,
Really?
I swipe left. I do not go.
'Cause it's
Horse people are
consuming.
crazy.
They
Yeah,
are.
they actually are.
It's
That's
a-
a fact of life.
It's a really consuming hobby because it's so expensive. It's like you feel like you got to get your value out of it. So you're like always doing shit with the horse. And they're big animals. They're a big responsibility.
They are quite large.
physically large.
You know, it is a true tragedy that the moose was never domesticated for mounting purposes.
They
I
are
mean,
huge. Moose are
they're
so big.
terrifying. They're just
That's true.
bigger horses.
Man, if the Native Americans, if my brethren had just, or my forefathers had just stepped up a little bit and tamed a
Like,
moose instead.
There could have
Oh,
been a
man.
fight.
I mean,
you know?
or buffaloes, going on buffaloes into battle.
No, meese are way cooler.
I think though that like I spent a semester and also part of the summer up in Alaska for a little while working, and every single night that I would come home, I would be terrified because the first night that I was there, I almost hit a moose, and they're enormous. They're
they're
like
huge.
7
Yeah,
feet
you don't
tall.
want
You will die.
Yeah.
You're
That's not
just
good.
dead.
And like I normally think about like a deer or something on the road, and it's like you know, it's gonna kill the deer and then mess up like the front end of my car or something, but moose will just literally end you.
Yeah, you're just done.
Yeah.
You know, in BC a couple years ago, there were 2 cars driving on the highway, and like one on one side, one on the other, and someone hit a bear with their car, and it flew across and hit the other car.
Wow.
They sent a bear flying. Projectile bear.
Whoa! Elder Titan got off at ultimate, and it wasn't enough. He's lost his teammates already. He's lost himself. Spectre, he's too big.
All right, clean it up,
Gods.
PL. Use that
called it.
ego. Oh.
Oh no, they didn't even get the Warlock.
Well, they
Noble
killed the
effort,
Disruptor.
honestly.
Yeah, no buybacks here on these 3 heroes. Dazzle and Sand King are going to need to hold
Quick,
alone.
get your bets in. Take those 1.05 odds.
You never know, guys. Anything could happen.
Wow, they do the
No.
offensive tip.
It's over. That's going to be it.
Oh, and the disconnect.
The GG gets called. Well, you know,
Leshrac.
CDEC cannot be happy right now.
He was out early on the last game, too.
They are currently the only team in this group stage that has not won a single game, and that's never a good feeling. They might even be mathematically eliminated.
And this
I'm
was
not
without
sure.
their brood.
Yeah.
I think is it probably 5 losses is the break.
Yeah, are they 0-3 now?
No, they were 0-3 going into this.
Oh.
Both teams
Yeah.
were 0-3 going
They could
into
go
this.
3-4. I imagine a lot of teams could go 3-4, and you get through on tiebreakers.
He was their best
but-
player this
Okay, so
time, though.
5
That
is
brood
probably
player.
the-
5 is
ASD.
out.
He was the brood before the Leshrac. He owned this game, but just couldn't pull it together.
He looked a lot better when he's not playing Brood,
Yeah.
but not enough still.
Rough.
Ouch.
We're all just speechless. That
I
was
mean,
such a savage
it was
game.
over like 20
That-
minutes ago.
that
We
really
didn't even
was.
talk about the game.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a cool story to see, like, a team owner, you know, love
Yeah.
of Dota, his passion driving him, just wants to put a team together to play in qualifiers himself, and here he is in regionals and winning games against other sponsored teams. That's a great
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Winning a game.
Against TI runners-up. Thank you very much.
Ruining-
Yeah.
TI runners
Yeah.
up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ruining the careers of his other Chinese regional squads.
No.
Demoralizing them.
That Spectre player, we might see him around somewhere in another team in the near future, maybe. Maybe next year.
Well, I mean,
potentially.
Newbie Boss is going to need new teams next
Hey,
year,
that's a
right?
good point.
You know, you
That's
can't-
true.
Newbie E, F, and G or whatever. The
Yeah.
new
Newbie
teams.
Extreme, dude.
Yeah.
And we'll have Newbie and then Booby, and then they're just like, no, they're not affiliated. No, definitely not
That is
Sister
the
Org.
region by far hurt the most by that change the next season of DPC.
Oh,
like
it
team
makes
owners
sense, though.
not being able to own multiple teams that
Oh,
are
yeah.
competing. That's the only region where there's like multiple orgs with like 3 rosters that share facilities, and it's
Well,
it's a
the
big
West,
change.
it doesn't happen with orgs. It happens with players, because like
Right.
the players
Yes.
own a lot of the teams. So like Fly with OG, the EG guys. So when they roster swap, it's suddenly like, oh shit, you know, we gotta fix this.
Right.
Otherwise, you can't be playing on, you know,
That
EG
is,
if you have ownership in OG.
And it seems like I see how at first people, or players especially, could not realize how that's such a big conflict of interest. So it's like, well, I was on EG for a long time. I'm still owed money, so why would I give up things that I've had
Yeah.
a relationship here, but it's like, well, if you're playing against them, now there's a built-in incentive where maybe it's better for the other team to win because you own part of EG and you're just a player on this team, you know?
That's true.
Not that any player would do that, but that's the
I mean,
inherent conflict of interest of why
Conflict
they
of
had to
interest
change
doesn't
it.
depend upon malpractice or
Right,
malbehavior.
exactly.
It's just the thing that exists.
It just
I
so
was wondering, could he even like qualify for TI? Because he's the boss of Newbie, right? Could he actually
Why
qualify?
not?
well, based
Sure.
on that, is there
I
a
don't know.
conflict of interest there? I don't know.
No, there's not this year. Next year, apparently. Why
Oh,
couldn't he
okay.
qualify?
Yeah, I guess there's nothing in the rules.
Our last year for him.
Well-
This is his final run.
All right, dude, here you go.
Former
Wow.
CEO of EG is
That is pretty
going to be
crazy.
qualifying, right? PPD, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we'll see. So we are done.
Yep.
The
I
end
guess
of our
so.
long gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's
so
time to hand it off to our CIS brethren.
Yeah, we're back tomorrow for more China action, but we're going to have a break, and then CIS kicks off here at the TI8 Hub. See you later, fam.
Adios.